They threw me in here.
Nobody would want to watch you sleep for an hour. Who would want to watch Osric sleep for an hour? Okay.
We could just sit up here and grill Osric.
Yeah, we'll just drill you. This is about.
What
tell us about Mr. Chow.
Yeah, tell us about your child.
I feel like every panel I've done, I've been grilled constantly.
I know. I heard Mark was he was cruel. Was he mean?
He's really good at twisting words, you know?
I don't know. I've never seen a panel with Mark, but he says he doesn't answer questions, so.
Oh, he answers them. Usually it's no. I think that's his favorite word is no.
Wow.
By the way, this, I really don't.
You don't know how to sit on one of these.
I don't even think that's possible.
Hey, you got it.
This is better.
There's so much we could say about that right now, Felicia. We could.
I sit like a lady.
The potential is high.
Welcome to Sunday. Everybody stay out really late last night and feel kind of bad? Yeah!
How was Jason last night, by the way?
Yeah.
Is he good? I'm excited. I think we're watching him tomorrow night at JIB6. I'm excited to see him.
I just realized, does anybody have that picture with all of our pictures on it? I just realized that was Jason. Because you gotta he needs to, what, this thing? It's a lot.
Which picture?
The picture, you know, the one where it has all of our pictures and it's very artistic.
Like
with all the Polaroid, the multi-pictures.
Yeah.
Jason's in the bottom left, but I was like, is that Greyston?
Because he doesn't have the beard left.
Yeah, the beard. It's such a big beard. It's like another face on a face.
What's under there?
Yeah, that is kind of weird, because I imagine that Jason is a completely different person.
He's a kinder, gentler Jason, or less grizzled Jason?
I think he's kinder with the beard.
He's a kinder man with a beard?
Yeah, I think so. He likes the juxtaposition of it.
I don't trust a beard that big. I don't want to have to, I don't want to be able to smell what you had for lunch through a beard. If I was like, ooh, tuna, no.
Because you smell someone's face anyway.
Yeah. Well, I don't often smell faces. I just smelled yours.
Do you shampoo? I don't know, I'm asking you. Do you shampoo a beard that big? Do you use shampoo?
He does.
Yeah.
It's a burly beard. What's the biggest beard you've ever had, Grace?
Like a little longer than this, but mine's so patchy it just looks like weird pubic hair on my face.
Oh, that's hot.
I hear you, man. Every day.
Makeup artists on my show, they got us to use this beard oil, which is a thing, I guess. It's like natural oils to condition your beard and make it shiny.
Do they milk a beard and they put another beard?
Exactly, yeah.
Does it soften up the hair? So it's nice to touch?
Softens it up, gives it a nice shine.
Oh.
Wow.
Smells amazing.
I did notice that you had
Doesn't smell like tuna.
Please don't. It's tuna
garlic
beard hair.
flavor. Scented.
Garlic scented. Oh, that's so gross.
Old stinky beer scent.
Do you know if they have beard thickener?
Thinner?
No, thickener.
Thickener. Is that something you
Who
want?
might you be talking about?
I don't know, I'd look into it.
It's like all girls want to do is remove all hair.
Yeah, you know how for balding guys, maybe they do it for the beard too. I was always curious.
Oh, to add, you could Rogaine your beard?
Yeah.
It'll make you grow another hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure, you could do that.
I think I'm gonna try that one day.
Okay.
You look good with a full beard.
I mean, it's still a little patchy, and when it gets too long, then the hair is really straight, so it just looks really weird.
It just comes straight up.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not like that's where you want the afro, but
one spot you want curly hairs.
Yes.
Wow, what are we talking about? Let's answer some questions rather than pubic beard hair.
Yes.
All right.
Side we started.
Hi, so my question's for Felicia.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, since you've wrote a book, would you consider writing another one? And if yes, what would it be about?
That's a very good question. If you didn't know, I wrote a book that's coming out in August. It's called You're Never Weird on the Internet, Almost. And it's a memoir about my life growing up very strange and turning into who I am now, which is still strange. Hopefully it's funny and people take away stories from it to have confidence about who they are and embracing themselves. Not in a way that's that kind of way, but metaphysically embracing yourself.
Hugging yourself. It solves all problems.
Hugging yourself, exactly. It was very difficult to take a whole year off to write that book, and I would love to write another book, but I think I would want to do more fiction. because I guess I think I'm interesting, but after a year, there's nothing more. I'm sick of this girl. So hopefully I distilled everything that I need to say about myself into that. And my next book would be a fictional book. Probably I would like to do like a fantasy book. It would be so much fun.
Romance novel.
A romance, fine.
Romance, of course, lots of romance. There would be making love between knights and maidens, but there would be the man would be the maiden, and then the girl would be the knight. So right there. What kind of book would you write, Osric?
You know what? I would definitely go with the medieval. One of my favorite book series is about King Arthur's lineage, and there's a lot of sex scenes in it. So I think
What is this book called?
It's a series. It's called Dream of Eagles series, and it's one of the first series I've ever read, and I just fell in love with it.
Dream of Evil?
Eagles.
Oh, Eagles.
Yeah, and it just follows King Arthur and his father and his grandfather.
What about the sex?
There's just a lot of. That was the first time I ever read the word phallus, and they used it a lot.
His phallus. So this is a male romance. This is not a female romance.
No, it could be. It follows a lot of male characters, sure, but the first character was a blacksmith, and it was part of the story of how.
How was his phallus?
Excalibur, it was gleaming, I think.
You're blushing. You're blushing right here.
It was one of those. It was one of those.
Phallus in.
Yeah. Greyston, what kind of book would you write?
Phallus in. Anyways, I'd probably write a book on food. I'm a huge foodie, so like Anthony Bourdain is one of my heroes. I love his book Kitchen Confidential. If you've read it, it's amazing. So I would love to just travel the world and write about my experience and.
Is there a particular food, like adventurous food, or decadent food, or historical food that you're attracted to?
Like just authentic regional food. I'm a bit of an adventurous eater. I don't like bugs particularly. But
What's the weirdest thing you've had?
I don't know, like lungs or pig's ears.
You eat a lung? A human lung?
Yes, it's quite delicious.
From the werewolf.
I like all the weird parts of the animal. I don't get weirded out by it as long as it doesn't have a function.
But only normal animals.
What was that?
Only normal animals?
Only normal animals, yeah. No dogs or cats or anything like that.
Oh, God, no.
I was too quick, too soon. Like I just kind of went
Too
straight
soon.
to dogs
Too
and
soon
cats.
for just existence.
Or rats.
I've had a dog once.
Have you?
Yeah.
What?
Once, yeah. It was actually a British friend of mine who took me to this Korean restaurant, didn't tell me, and she was like super giddy, just watched me eat
Where?
this dish. In China. But it was in China at a Korean restaurant, and she was just like watching me eat, and I thought it was so strange, and she's like, how do you like it? How do you like it? What do you think?
Did she look at you? Was she like, hound is it?
No, she didn't. She was just like so interested in what I thought about this dish. I'm like, yeah, it's quite soft. I like the texture.
Oh no, I'm gonna vomit.
Well, I thought it was gonna be like bat or some other weird thing. But it was dog.
Okay, that's the worst story ever told on the stage. I've never been here for everything, but I'm sure it's the worst.
Thanks for joining us, Osric.
I don't know
It's nice.
what kind of dog. I'm guessing it might have been the Labrador.
Why are you going into detail?
Well,
Tell me more about phallus.
I'm sure the Labrador had a phallus.
Okay, next question over here.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi.
So for the panel of Bob Singer, he kind of told us that Charlie would be back one day eventually.
I heard rumor that he alluded to that. He has not said anything to me, but I like that idea.
So I was wondering for each of your characters actually, how do you would like them to come back as a human, ghost, and another species?
Another species.
My head got cut off in the episode, so I would like to come back as a headless vampire who somehow sucks blood through his neck hole.
Like a straw?
Or he holds his head and he just like...
Maybe it's just the head. Your sucking blood just comes out and you're just like...
I'd have to get a tube to the head to my neck though and like move it around. Anyways, visual.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't mind. Ghost Kevin. I wouldn't mind being Kevin the Friendly Ghost.
Kind of like Casper?
Yeah. Yeah, it just goes on.
That was a depressing cartoon. That was a dead kid.
It was a really depressing
that was
cartoon.
not whimsical. That was a dead kid.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
He had unfinished business, so he stuck around.
No, but what happened?
I don't remember. Was it a car crash? I can't remember.
God, this is such a downer panel.
God. Talk
Well-
so many dead. This is the dead panel.
Well, yeah.
This is the dead panel.
This is the dead panel.
We talked about dead a lot
Dead
of
kid.
things.
We're the dead kid table.
Oh.
Dead kids. I think, well, Kevin and I both have the honor of being burned to death, so we
Yeah.
have no body left.
No,
So
we're burned to death.
we were not burned
We're
to
dead.
death. We were
And then they burnt us.
Come back as an
We're
urn.
burned after
in an
death.
urn, just like a walking urn. I feel like I'm really pale, so if you shine lights, especially on this area or my butt, I glow. So I would be a very good ghost or vampire, any kind of pale light. I mean, oh, it's blinding, right? Yeah, it's blinding. So that's what I think that would be a good trait for me to bring back.
They got makeup for that too.
No, I'm organic. They would save money. If they bring me back, they save money.
She's a method actor, yeah.
Okay. Next question.
Thank you.
Hi, my question's for Felicia. Hi. I just wanted to say, firstly, it's really nice to have you here because it's like you're kind of a fangirl yourself, so it feels like you can really relate to us. And like predominantly a lot of the fandom, not just Supernatural, but in a lot of things it's predominantly women, but the casts are predominantly male. So I wondered what your experience was in that.
I mean, I would say there are a lot of male cast members. I mean, I think especially on Supernatural, it's very male heavy. There are a lot of burly men, or just large, good men. High quality men. It's a high quality man show. But it is nice to, I think that, you know, especially the characters that I play, I don't play like characters who are very like out there sexually, I mean, in a sexy way, and I think that makes it more relatable. You know, there are divisive ways that women characters can be presented that women are less, can relate to them as sort of the girlfriend or the wife or the sexy one or something, and I think that it's cool to play characters who are more relatable, who are cool characters regardless of their male or female gender. So I love the fact that everyone responds to Charlie like that because she is gay, she is into nerd things, but first and foremost, she's a person who's very three-dimensional. And I think any character is like that. You could make any character male or female, and that should be the test if they are an interesting character regardless of their gender or it seems to be the characters that people respond to the most. So, and in going to conventions and fandom, like, it's so wonderful to see women creating community together, because I come from a lot more gaming, and that's very heavy with the male fandom. So it's so refreshing to see, especially this convention, see women supporting women and creating community, celebrating the things that you love. So I love it. So thank you so much for having me here. As the third woman, I found out I wasn't the second, I was the third woman guest, but that's okay.
You're the third now?
I'm the third. I got downgraded again.
Wow.
But the best.
It's okay. Oh, no, it's okay. I'm not that upset. Oh, I'm not? I was told that I was the third by one of the... All right, let's just take a poll later. Okay, next question.
Hi, my question is for Osric and Felicia. Is there a movie based on a video game that you really like? And if not, is there a video game you would really like to be turned into a movie?
Okay, video game movies are so hard to do properly. I have high hopes for World of Warcraft movie coming out. Really high hopes.
I think it's going to be good.
I think so. They're actually putting enough like money into it. You know, they're so secretive about it. Everyone that all my friends that have worked on it have only had like good things to, I mean, it's been crazy, but good things to say. That's the only video game movie that I think I'm actually excited about. I don't think I've seen a video game movie that I've liked yet.
Max Payne? That was one of the worst movies.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a good video game movie? Like,
I'm glad you didn't ask me this question. I don't even know.
Oh, you're not a gamer, are you?
No, I never. Not even.
well, generally, you know, they try to use the franchise name, but they don't take the time to like make it good enough.
Right. What about like turning Tetris into a movie?
That would be cool,
Just
actually.
blocks fall.
Because you'd have to be
Did
so
that, right? There's a new
Yeah.
movie called Pixels coming out. Did that already come out?
Really?
It was like pixels falling from the sky, kind of. What movie would you make into a video game?
What?
I mean, video game. The opposite of that.
I mean, they do it with all these obvious video. Okay, let me think about that.
Okay.
You go first.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
Because I'm in love with Thane. He's a fish man, but he needs to come to life, and I need to be able to make out with that actor.
Harvest Moon. I've loved that game for the longest
Harvest
time.
Moon movie?
It's such a beautiful game.
You keep talking about this.
It's it's a farming game.
But you can romance people.
You can romance people. Therefore, romance farming
Oh yeah,
movie.
I'm pro Harvest Moon movie.
It's a really good game.
What if you mashed up Harvest Moon and Mass Effect? Would that be a good movie?
So while they're fighting in a war, they're also farming because you have to feed people.
Yeah.
And,
in order to make
and they have to
love your
reproduce.
fish
Therefore,
man.
they have to romance.
Yeah, I like this. We should make this.
no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, next question. Thank you.
Okay, hi. My question is for all of you. Do you have any real-life superpowers besides the obvious, like not you can act, you write, and
My girlfriend likes to think I have the superpower ability of an endless pit of a stomach that I can just keep eating, and she's jealous and she wants that because she loves to eat, but she just gets full way quicker than I do. So I can eat and eat and eat and eat. It's an endless pit in there.
He's a foodie and he can eat.
Yeah, that's mine.
I always had a lot of random skills. I don't know if any of them would be considered a superpower. Honestly, my superpower would be my mom, because when I was a kid, she put me in so many random classes, like anything that I can imagine, and I've forgotten most of it. But every now and then I'm going to come across something, I'm like, oh yeah, I did a couple of weeks of this, or I did a couple of weeks, and so I'll kind of know that. And in school, I had all these random tricks. One of them was card flicking, and I got really good at that because I spent all math class doing it. And it just happened there was this one phase where everyone was into it, and we had like cardboards where we were flicking it, and I got to the point where I was good enough to hit someone, like maybe like front row, I could flick a card at you and it would draw blood because it was that good.
You're basically Gambit.
Yeah, and I loved Gambit at the time, so that was like one of them, and then the martial arts stuff, but the card flicking one was something I was really proud of because it was completely useless.
My superpower is that I always fart after eating Brussels sprouts. Next question.
Wait, immediately after? Or like, did it take some time?
Probably 30 to minute 40.
Is it like a game where you eat it and then it's like you can press a button and it'll come out?
No,
That would be cool.
I can lock and load it.
That's like Wario in Super Smash Brothers. Okay, anyways.
I'm
They're
really
currently
gross
removing
today.
Brussels sprouts from the lunchroom.
Oh no. It's situational deployment. I have to use my good power for good, not evil.
See, I have the same thing with milk, except times 10.
We talked about that.
We did talk about that.
Yeah, you guys don't want us to talk
Okay,
about
let's
that.
not talk about
Next question.
Hello. I love all three of you, but I have a question for Greyston. A friend of mine told me that during your photo ops, you said that you had no problem to take off your t-shirt.
This is a good rumor. Wow.
Is that true? Can you...
He works out a lot. He's in very good shape. Like, that's solid.
I do, but I've been in Italy for a few days eating pasta and pizza.
A few days will not ruin. I mean, I'm not pressuring you to get naked, but
Be jealous, girls.
just a little lift. Just a.
Oh, there's lint in my belly.
Oh no! Oh no! Wow, that was provocative.
Do you ever save the lint in your belly button? Do you ever do that? No? Okay, never mind.
You know when you get a new black shirt or a new black sweater and it's just piles up in there? Yeah.
Sometimes I'm surprised by how much collects in there.
Oh my God!
It's
If you
lint.
had a hairy belly button, you'd know.
I don't have any hair in my belly button.
It's not here, it's
You
lint.
did. You
That is. Have you ever smelled that?
Oh, it's in there all day.
No, you don't smell your belly button lint.
You just put it in a jar and keep it for
I
later.
can't imagine it smells good. That's all I can think of.
It's clean. Just wear clean shirts and you're good to go.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. Oh. Next question. Hi.
I have a question for Osric.
Hi.
Hi. So during the Tough Mudders, you wore a GoPro camera. So, A, we want to see that video, but also, would you wear my camera for a while?
Sure. By the way, you guys should do Tough Mudder with us next time.
Nope.
Where
Is it outdoors? Does it involve dirt or physical
It's exactly what it
exertion?
is.
Nope. I don't go outside.
It takes a picture every 30 seconds without you doing anything, or you can tap it twice to take an extra picture.
That's pretty cool. There is a run though.
Video.
There's a run in LA called the Color Run, and you wear all white, and people throw colored powder at you, so that you're covered in like red and green and purple and pink by the end of the run.
That's called doing acid.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's why.
That's why it's a Facebook invite.
Greyston, you'd love it. You'd love the Tough Mudder. You should do it with us.
You
No, I would actually. They do one in up in Vancouver. They do one in Whistler, actually.
Yes, it's
and
beautiful.
Apparently, it's a pretty grueling one. They electrocute you. I hear you have to jump in ice bath.
That's the last one. You know what? The electrocution one wasn't that bad. Everyone thought it was going to be the worst thing, but I mean, it sucks. But let me tell you, by the end of it, your calves are like cramping up, and you know this was the last obstacle, and you know you're having trouble walking through the mud. But when you go there and you feel that 10,000 volt jolt, it feels like someone's just pushing down on you.
Great.
And I got 2 10,000 volts, and I got one 30,000 volt, but after it, like it just like loosened up my muscles.
And he's sterile.
And I can't help children, but it felt great.
Why get a vasectomy?
The ice one was kind of tough though. That one is a great shot though. Because you go underneath, and I have the camera on my head and my wrist on that one.
Okay.
That's gonna look cool.
Good for you.
All right. You'd love it.
I would love it.
You'd love it, Felicia. Hi.
Hello.
It's great to have you all together. Felicia, my question kind of relates to the one of being a female character in a mostly male cast. And as an actress who played a very impactful female character, not centered around romance or anything, do you think that the stereotype is finally breaking for female characters in narrative and shows and stories?
I think there's a lot more awareness on the writer's part of. I think there's a lot more awareness. I think there's a lot more awareness about writing female characters in a more three-dimensional way, but I do think there's a long way to go. I think that, especially, it seems that there. What are you doing? I'm trying to be profound, and you're biting yourself.
You got it.
Bicep cams. Flex.
I think that the worst characters on TV are women who need to be sexually attractive to the male lead characters. For some reason, there are some really great secondary characters like Charlie or Felicity. Well, Felicity was great, and then let's not talk about it. But like.
No, it's an important. I'm sorry, I feel bad. It's an
I
important
think
answer.
the next step is to improve on the girls who need to be romantic leads to the lead men, because if you look at Barbara on Gotham and Karen on Daredevil, and I mean I could just list a whole list of women who are like they should be stronger, and for some reason when the writers think, oh well the lead guy needs to hook up with her, they kind of strip all things that are interesting, and that I think teaches men to be attracted to the wrong kind of women, really, because our narrative teaches us what we should think in some ways, and unconsciously we absorb those things. So I love the fact that more women are carrying shows and leading shows, and I think the most important thing is to always demand that the female characters who are love interests be as interesting and could carry their own shows as well, even if their parts are small. So.
Yeah. I do think there's definitely, to add to that, we still need to come away. I mean, my girlfriend pointed this out, she's an actress as well, and when you get an audition, it's called a breakdown, and they'll have a description of the characters, and 99% of the time, the male characters will be described by a personality trait first, and 99% of the time, the females would be physical trait first. Like that's more important. So it's shitty to see, and it's still prevalent. But it's nice that there's starting to be a bend towards it.
It's more unconscious bias too. I think we're raised as
You don't even
women.
notice until someone points it out. Almost, you're like, oh yeah,
Exactly.
Right.
You don't notice, and I think even writers don't notice. They don't understand the way they think about women in certain ways. They're raised, we're raised by media, by our society to think about things, and they become unconscious. So the more we can call them out and gently criticize, I think the more we can educate people to think differently.
Yeah, and all it takes is someone to point it out most of the time. Like I just said, she pointed this out to me, and I was like, oh yeah, right, obviously, yeah. And then now it sticks out like a sore thumb to me.
It's funny. Like it's every type of character. Even like they'll be like, okay, this is the nerdy character. She's very unliked. She's blah blah blah, but she's somehow quite attractive. They'll always throw that in there for any type of character, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It does. It's because I think little girls are raised that their most attractive quality is to be nice and to be attractive to people. And that's not what men are told. Men are told that you are, you need to be a leader and you need to be powerful. And those are things that unconsciously accompany us through our lives and the way that we think about our own image in our world. Well, I'm just talking too much. But anyway, I think it's a good question, and hopefully as more and more women write and more guys are aware, just like, Gracie said, we can have more interesting characters we can root for of both sexes.
That's true. It's the same for minority roles, sexual representation.
Yeah.
It's the same issue. There's certain stereotypes, and we just gotta keep pushing forward and notice things. Yeah. Thank you for that question.
Thank you. Good question.
I forgot.
Next question.
Hi. Osric's worn some really awesome costumes to these conventions. I was just wondering if the three of you were going to wear a group cosplay to a convention, what characters would you pick as a group cosplay?
I'm new to the whole cosplay thing and then the Comic-Con convention world, so it's kind of just, I guess, what I've seen. But I'm going to think about it. You guys go.
I think we could do Game of Thrones.
Oh my God, yes. Game of Thrones? You would actually look like one of the characters.
Yeah, you would totally be Jaime Lannister.
You could do Ned Stark.
You could be a young Ned Stark.
Yeah.
I could probably do Tyrion.
Yeah.
Yeah, total. That's a little typecasting.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Who would you play in Game of Thrones then?
Oh, who would I want to play? The Irish girl. I can't remember her name. Jon Snow's Irish.
Oh,
Jon Snow.
Jon Snow. Ygritte. I love her accent.
You're taking the one redhead? Really? I mean, there's a lot more redheads. Taking the redhead that I look the most like?
She was my favorite.
Well, I would like to wear a platinum wig, so I would be Daenerys, and I always said... Yeah, I want people to call me Felicia. Also, I've always said, I don't want to get naked in anything, but if I could have dragons on me, I would be naked as hell.
They're imaginary dragons.
No, they aren't.
I'm just saying, someone could be like, oh yeah, there are dragons here. Now take off your clothes. There are dragons, they're everywhere.
I'd fall for that.
So someone pointed out that you guys are missing a big Avengers opportunity with Thor.
Oh,
You totally look like Thor. Did you audition for Thor by any chance? Totally.
I've been getting that a lot.
You got that a lot.
Yeah. What's this event?
The Avengers. Who would you be in the Avengers? Would you be...
The Hulk? Obviously. Sorry to typecast, but I'm down for that.
All right, next question.
Hey guys, so you know how sometimes fans associate themselves with some characters and then help them to overcome some life troubles? So maybe are there any characters who helped you to overcome your difficulties in life when you were in a dark place?
Let me clarify that question. So sometimes fans help us overcome troubled times?
No. Artists. What artists have helped us through troubled times?
No, I mean...
Nope.
Are there any characters that helped you to overcome?
Oh, actors.
Characters. Sorry for my accent.
No, that's okay.
You speak more languages than us. Never apologize.
Are there any characters in shows that we watch that might have helped us overcome the issues? Okay. Yeah. For me, the biggest ones, like constantly, even though I don't watch them anymore. I mean, I still do, but Goku from Dragon Ball and Naruto. And they're both very simple characters, but you know, stubborn, persistent, just hearts of gold. And you know, it's the same thing. It's like, even if it seems impossible, try your best. Even if someone is evil, still be nice to them. You know, it's a lot of things that still stick with me. And Mark, yeah, he's a great example.
I was like Katharine Hepburn because I love old movies, and she's one of my favorite because she is so unique, and she didn't look like everyone else, and they called her box office poison all the time, and she as a person overcame that so many times, especially in her characters were very unique, and she didn't try to round the corners of her of herself or her vision. She really brought a unique perspective to the screen in everything she played, and even though they said she was poison and people didn't want to hire her because she was not standard looking or standard acting, she kept going because she was an artist and she was driven, and the kind of roles she picked were always off the map. So I always found her to be inspiring as a person, and the character she played as well, because she succeeded where people told her she would fail.
What about Greyston?
I like to think of myself as a very handy and crafty guy, can fix most things. So I'd have to say Kevin McAllister from Home Alone, because he showed you that with a few household items and a little ingenuity, you could stop anything. Kevin.
I thought you were going to say Tim Allen from Home Improvement for a second.
That's my thought. Yeah, beautiful. Next question.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, I have two questions, one for Osric and one for Felicia. So who wants to start?
Either one. Yes, doesn't matter.
Okay, go.
Okay, sure. Okay, I'll start.
Okay. I was wondering how is to work with the Helium show, because you did the supernatural parody, and if you could please give us a clue of what character you be.
Okay, let me fill you guys in. So there's this YouTube channel, just two sisters, and they do parodies of a lot of.
Oh, I know them.
Right, the Hollywood Girls.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So of shows, movies, like, you know, popular stuff. So they did a Supernatural parody recently, and me and Rob were both part of it.
Wow.
And I'm so excited. I think it's gonna come out next week. I think everyone's gonna love it. I think Supernatural is the only show where you're gonna get the actors on the show to do parodies of their own show, because they've done that in the show already. It's just such a cool thing. Working with them is great. You know, they're sisters that figured it out themselves. I mean, they didn't even figure it out. This is something they've been doing since they were kids, and you know, it's homemade, fan-made, whatever, but their production value is great. You know, everything they have is essentially what you would have on a normal set, except that there's, you know, two of them doing almost all of the main jobs, you know, and they have a couple of assistants helping out. But it's incredible what they do. I mean, they're very different days, and you kind of have to change your mindset and not to expect, you know, what you would on a normal set. But they get the job done. They're perfectionists, and anytime you work with someone or anybody that works with a passion behind them, you know, it's noticeable, and it really makes you want to go that extra mile for them too. So it was a good experience.
Thank you. Then Felicia, if you could tell us how it is to be always in the episode picked up by Jared and Karen.
Oh, how is it? He's a strong man. Jared has very strong arms, and when he lifts me up, I feel like I'm a feather on the world. He can pick me up with one finger, it feels like. He is strong and mighty, and it feels like I'm being enveloped by God. Next question.
A god named Thor, perhaps. 'Cause he would be Thor too. He'd both be Thor.
He could be Thor. He's just Jared. Jared would kick Thor's ass.
Maybe.
What were your favorite cartoons growing up?
I kind of already said mine. I have so many cartoons. South Park is still one of my all-time favorites, especially the newer seasons. It's just so spot on. South Park.
I love like Space Ghost, and I love Space Ghost, and I love that they had a talk show on when I was a kid called Space Ghost Coast to Coast, where Space Ghost would interview people and do really crazy things. And it was a really weird sketch show, but it was one of my favorites as a kid because it was so weird. I don't know if you could find it anywhere, but if you search Space Ghost Coast to Coast, it was Space Ghost having his own talk show in space.
Amazing.
It was really good.
I used to watch Rugrats and Recess a lot too.
I was gonna say Recess.
Do you watch that?
Recess, yeah.
Such a great job.
Yeah. There's another cartoon called Home Videos or Home Movies. Did you ever see that one?
No.
It's really good. But you know, Simpsons is. I used to race home. It was on at 7:30 every day during the week, and I would race home from school, do my homework just so I could watch The Simpsons at 7:30.
Actually, I did that with Pokemon because it was at 4:30 and it was just borderline. But if I ran, I would make it home in time. Love that show.
Next question. Sorry.
I was wondering if you could use the playground a bit because there are a lot of interesting things that no one used yet.
All right. I'm there.
Okay, Osric will be on that.
What about the? There's that.
While we answer another question. Next question over here.
Hello.
This is fun.
Hi.
It's a catch thing.
This is actually for you anyway, Felicia.
Oh, okay, so you guys play with things. I'll answer this. I'll cover this.
Well, it's not so much a question, it's just when you were talking earlier on about female roles in film and TV, I just had to come up and say thank you for that. Because I work in the theatre and I'm surrounded by young actresses just come out of drama school, trying to make it into film and TV and theatre, and they're all rooting for sort of like better characters, and what you're doing is really fantastic. So thank you very much.
Jeez Louise! Thank you for your lovely comment that was ruined.
I'm so sorry.
Well, you know, I think that the most important thing versus actors, and I know it's very glamorous to see, it's more interesting to see actors than writers, I guess, because you know what our faces look like. But really, celebrating the writers behind the words is the most important thing, because without them, there would be nothing. There would be no actors. And we need more women writing characters who reflect what women think of themselves. So the more people we can have behind the camera is more important than acting, even, I think.
I was just going to say some of them are actually starting to write things for themselves.
It's fantastic. That's what I started doing. I was very upset with all the roles that I got, and I created my own thing. And thank you.
No worries, go play.
Okay.
We're so entertaining back
Next question. Hi.
I have a favor to ask to Greyston.
Yes. Hi. Mary.
Yes,
Hi.
it's me. Can you say darling to all Greyston fans?
Darling.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
No.
Was it bad collection?
I'll try to figure it out by the end of this. All right. Sorry. Next question.
Hi. My question is for Felicia, and maybe
Yes.
I was just wondering, like, a lot of the time people are kind of pissed off that so many female characters are so thin and good looking. And I've been talking to a friend who's also kind of in the industry, and I mean, it's kind of like, because a lot of them are that way and it sells the product, which is the series, then it also creates the feedback that a lot of actresses are going to have to work out to be thin and good looking, and if it like actually creates this sort of pressure in, like, do you feel it as well as an actress?
Well, I'm very lucky that I'm pretty thin, except when I eat a lot of pasta in Rome. That is the weirdest combo I've ever seen in my life. I also think, you know, I think you're gonna die. You're gonna.
One-man show.
It's hard to answer this honestly. I think that, you know, we as women don't help situations when the things we interact with online are purely celebrating women who are perfect looking. I think that it's not just men who celebrate only perfect looking women, it's women who do the same thing. And by accepting the idea that we look in the mirror and think, oh, my nose is ugly, or I'm too fat, or I mean, I do it to myself all the time. Like, what's wrong with your face? It's broken. talking. Sometimes I think these things to myself, and that's because we have these standards that we can't seem to break, because we're reinforced all the time that pretty is the way that we get ahead in life as women. And the more we can celebrate women for their deeds and not their looks online and offline, the better we will be to break all those rules.
Play really well when I'm on that.
I think they're playing us off. It's like the Oscars.
It's kind of hard. And Thor saves Captain America.
Thor saved me. Thor saved me. Thank you. Wow. Hello. Well, I guess we need to get off the stage. That was super fun, guys.
Was that was the end? Is that
No,
what
I
that
don't know.
Is that what that was for? Or was that just...
I don't think so.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, now what does that song mean?
we need to get out.
Does that mean we rock out? Does that mean we grab more instruments?
Should we leave?
Should we play?
Oh, you were just giving us a soundtrack for Our Majesty?
You were just giving me some backup for.
No, we really need to leave.
Come on, Greyston.
What is going on? He doesn't know.
That
Okay,
sounded
more
kind of
music.
like.
More music.
Okay.
Wow.
We got some moves.
Hungarian, I think they do that in Hungary.
That was amazing.
Was it? Okay, that's not.
Breakdancing! You got it! That's the coffee grinder! I totally remember the coffee grinder. Wait, how does that... That was my first move. Coffee grinder.
Can you do a real coffee grinder?
Yeah, you were doing it.
It was so slick. I was amazing. I was a baller. Should we leave?
Clearly.
What's going on?
This screams baller.
Oh, I don't know what's going on, you guys.
Okay, alright.
Should we keep talking? Just keep keep going?
Okay.
Yeah, just do it. 10 minutes. Okay, we got more
Questions? Who's next? This way, okay.
disaster.
That was a brief interlude there. All right, back to it.
That woke me up.
What just happened?
I'm good. I'm ready.
Hi, my question is for Greyston. Since Supernatural cast is renowned for having lots of funny stories, do you have any funny story from Beaten cast? Or from Beaten set?
Bitten. Yeah, we joke around a lot. We have a great cast. We all get along. I often, when I have to do nude scenes, I joke around with the guys a lot.
What kind of jokes?
That sounds. Let me give this some context.
What just happened?
When he does nude scenes with other guys, he likes to joke around a lot.
I said jerk around a lot.
Oh, jerk around a lot. That's.
I thought it was jump. I was excited by it.
We like to jump around a lot.
Yeah.
Sideways.
Go on.
I've pulled this prank a couple times. So when I have to be fully naked and walking. Okay.
I almost spit.
Here we go. This involves a sock over my penis.
Okay.
When I'm nude, for the comfort of the crew and the other cast, I have to wear a formed sock with a drawstring that kind of covers my bits. And so when the camera's shooting the guys, or Laura plays Elena, and it's on my backside, I like to do the mangina to see if they can hold a straight face. And if you're not familiar with that term, it's when a guy tucks all of his stuff behind,
Ace Ventura,
squeezes, and then you have to walk into the scene like that. And to see if they can keep a straight face. And they're pretty darn good. I got them the first time, but yeah. So that's
You just
that's
spit
my
all
favorite
over.
prank.
Yeah, I just breathed into my cup.
You're welcome. That was a a good visual. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I heard from a friend of mine at the photo op that you would do that naked.
I mean, if you're doing that, don't you pull the sock off eventually by the end of it?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
By the end of the walk, it's like, yeah.
Basically, no, you don't. I don't wear the sock when I do that.
Oh.
But the people behind, if they're watching, if you would think.
So you're pointing at everyone behind you.
Wow.
Left side, right
They were
side,
going in
left
for the
side, right
close-up.
side.
They were going in for.
Were they going for the close-up?
They were. It was just some nice camera work going on. All right, next question.
Hi, so my question is for Osric. On Friday after your and Felicia's panel, you said that you read some fan fiction about Kevin when he was still alive, and I was wondering if you could tell more about those fanfics.
That I've read or that I've written? Sorry. That I've read, obviously. Have you ever written a fanfic about your own character?
I mean, I wrote the Guild where I wrote about a version of myself playing a version of myself, and in one scene I was talking to myself.
So meta.
So in one episode, so yeah.
The ones that I've read, you know what? I like